Call of Duty Black Ops, we're doing another venture into the world of the undead with another zombies tour. So we've got 5 here, which was one of the launch kind of maps with the game, a bit of a surprise, and a welcomed one at that. It's very quirky, it's very weird, and definitely an interesting sort of adventure. Now, you know, Kino der Toten, great, fantastic, absolutely amazing. This map, you know, it's still pretty good. It's definitely a little bit more challenging, but I gotta say, it's very unique in regards to the cast. It's a very funny group of individuals that are trying to survive here and dealing with the zombies along the way. It's definitely unique, and like with all of these tours, we're going to be showing off each of the different areas, talking about some of the secrets, and generally going over what this map has to offer, which is, again, a pretty fun and weird time. Now, this map is a lot more disjointed in terms of how you tackle the challenges. So it's set in the Pentagon, and you've got a few different layers to this map. I definitely think they were experimenting with some stuff in this one, because it can be quite challenging to survive. You've got this upstairs area, these offices, where you start at the beginning of the match, and then you don't really ever go back to unless you're doing one of those quick travel things. And then you've got this main area where you're sort of surviving in a DEFCON area. They raise the DEFCON, you get to go into the mystery, not the mystery, the Pack-a-Punch area. And then you've got this even lower creepy lab area. And they're all kind of split by elevators and magical portals. It's really wild, and we'll talk about it more as we continue going through this. Definitely interesting. So you could unlock this after completing the final campaign mission, or entering 3 Arc Unlock on the computer terminal in the main menu. And that also gives you the Dead Ops arcade if you care about that. So the characters we have are John F. Kennedy, Robert McNamara, Richard Nixon, and Fidel Castro. So obviously some of the quirky, weird lines they spit out and stuff, they're funny. I don't necessarily get the context of them because I'm, you know, not from that age bracket for when these guys were, you know, kind of in power and stuff. But you get the joke, you get the funny references. There's some cool weapons. You know, there's Winter's Howl, which is like a unique kind of wonder weapon, and that one does like freezing, and there's some other little surprises that you'll see along the way as we, you know, kind of get along here. There are the crawler zombies that appear. They're a little annoying, and they're in the labs. And there's a bit of a fun kind of guy that pops in and causes issues. But it's a very, very cool level. So the kind of red phone that I went by earlier, I don't know if you would have noticed it, we'll probably walk by it again. It's basically the first part of what plays a song in the game. You ring all 3 of them, and then you're able to play the music. And yeah, that's kind of a cool little Easter egg part of the experience. And yeah, there's lots of weird quirks and weird moments and things that can pop up. I think it's kind of a fun map upon reflection, at the same time not necessarily one of the best maps in zombies because it's so tough, because it's really tight and, again, disjointed in regards to the different levels and the things you have to deal with, right? It's certainly not easy going, that's for sure. And it's got lots of neat little paintings. I don't know if you've noticed them from Call of Duty World at War most of the time. That's kind of funny. And we talked about the telephones. It's got such weird little situations to it in regards to what you're doing. And I think it's kind of fun in that regard because you can get trapped really easily. You can try to be like moving around, be all tricky as you kind of go through the different tighter spots, but it's very easy for your entire team to get trapped on a railway and everybody just absolutely dies, which is kind of hilarious. But yeah, these elevators, they're awkward too. We've been trapped in them before. Try the elevator strategy, doesn't always work out for you. Here's the DEFCON, you raise them, flick the switches, and then you can go into the Pack-a-Punch room like I mentioned. Lots of little fun references about the campaign and just generally the state of things within the Black Ops universe at this current point in time. It's kind of funny, and then you get like a special song, you know, obviously, which is kind of hilarious if you're a bit of an Eminem fan, I guess you could say. Yeah, kind of a nice little touch. But like I was saying, this is the main area. Kind of do circles in the lower spot. And it's neat because you can kind of play around with the strategies on this one a little bit. You can open up like all the little gated spots, or open up some of them, and kind of deal with how you move through the area based on that, which is kind of cool. And I think that was like a weird but nice little touch, because it kind of gives you some creativity within an open space, but it also prevents you from really having a good flow going on. And obviously you've been seeing some of the perk machines as we've been going along. I always typically grab the MP5 as well, because there's a bit of a guy that likes to take things. And you'll see him in a bit. And then you get here, which is another elevator situation. I don't believe they use the elevator again in a later Zombies after this one, because again, they're a little touchy and they're a little bit hard to deal with as a team. People keep getting left behind. Oh, and what's really fascinating is I don't necessarily think there's another Zombies map, as to say, with the glass breaking and then you're putting up the boards. I can't really think of any, but I thought that was a cool kind of feature in this one, was that element of it. The guy not playing always happens. Yeah, and then you get this like really weird main elevator, and then you go down, and now you're going into a bit of a spooky labs area. And this place is what I always consider to be quite a death trap. It's tight. It doesn't offer a lot of room for moving. The portals will send you, well, what feels like completely random spots. There's the power. And then, yeah, once you turn that on, power gets going. There's another one of the telephones. And then this area's got a few different spots, which are kind of hardcore. And you might think of like, oh, we can hold off one of them. And it's like, it doesn't really even help that much. I think this guy kind of glitches on a shelf over here or something. Not a shelf, a windowsill to a degree, and I think that kind of works out for him. But the rooms are really creepy too, to see this like below the pentagon. It's very mysterious, and it fits into the lore of Zombies beautifully, which is really nice. But yeah, this is also one of those ones where you can actually just sort of survive. You don't have to do some kind of long, complicated, convoluted Easter egg thing. You just kind of go in and you try to live, and you know, you experience this wacky place, and you deal with rotating mystery boxes, got the Bowie knife there, you know, lots of little tools and stuff. But it's really quite interesting and hard to deal with, because you don't get the best areas for laning or movement or anything. It feels tight, it feels claustrophobic, and again, I'm going to open up all these areas and show everything off. That's the whole point of these tours, is to try to show the full scope of the experience so that you can see all the different rooms. Another cool thing is they play around with the concept of kind of these TV things showing the mystery box kind of spot, which I think is a fun little way to be like, hey, here's where it is. Oh, and here we got the Pack-a-Punch open. I don't know if I go to it this time, but we're going to do it sooner than later, because I want to show off all the different rooms. I don't know if I want to leave this spot right yet. So we showed that off, and now we're gonna grab this one. So this one's got like the kennels and stuff, and the weird pig, and claymores and experiments, and this back area where you can get caught really easily. I think we've tried defending this room before. It's really hard, and yeah, you can slice the pig there. It's really hard to hold any of this stuff down, even as a team, just due to the way the zombies come in. So usually you almost gotta kind of split up your squad to give yourselves enough room to, you know, kind of maneuver around to different places. And that's really cool. So here we're gonna talk about this. So this is kind of the split. There's the DEFCON. I don't know why I say com every time, DEFCON. And you'll notice like to the side there was like that safety kind of thing where it's like, oh, slip and slide, oh, there's mule kick too. And there's one of those on the other side too. So you can open up both of them. You can open up neither of them. You can open up one of them. Keeping in mind, zombies will move through that middle portal regardless and come through multiple ways. And you kind of just gotta circle around and deal with this area to the best of your ability, really. And that's hard. This is where there's Jug, obviously, beautiful machine. But in there, It's a 115 clearance, of course. Classic zombie number. So inside that place is where the pack punch is. And you can only access that through going through there, but you can kind of keep it open if you keep somebody in that room. And it's a really interesting closed off mechanic that I don't think is repeated in other zombie maps, because this is such a strange level when you really think about it, and think of all the weird situations and things that you have to handle while you're going about in this room, in this 3-stage area, because it's almost a progressional thing where they want to keep you in the center ground, or at least that's where I feel like we do the best, is when we're centered in the ground here. And you kind of experiment down to find some stuff that you need, and you'll kind of experiment, well, you won't experiment, and you'll just start up at the top area, and as soon as you get up there again, you leave it as fast as possible. I don't think I've ever had any strategy that revolves around sitting in that top area. The only one I can think of is one where you're kind of doing the elevator. You go up and down in the elevator, you kind of hold it off. But that one, again, creates a bit of a death trap scenario where if somebody's not clicking the switch to get you down the elevator fast, you're all dying. And I've seen like whole teams get like knocked out. It can also be helpful because it gives you a second to revive everyone and keep yourselves going as you move down to the lower area. But at the same time, it's not too easy either. And I think that's kind of fun too. And again, very interesting. This is a fun map though, I think. I wouldn't say it's the greatest, but it's a solid map. It's kind of unique. It's kind of interesting. And we've got more zombies. I think we're going to get visited by our special friend sooner than later. If you know the map, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, you'll be pleasantly surprised, because it's weird. It's not like some special, pop culture thing or anything like that, but it's just like a funny little thing that pops up. And definitely find myself on this map relying a lot on the weapons on the walls as opposed to the mystery box weapons. It's good to have a mystery box weapon or two, but you also got to be smart about that, because our guest likes to borrow them, which isn't ideal. I love all the little hidden things on this map. See, back when I was really into zombies, I would sit there for a long time kind of like looking at other things on the map. Not even necessarily what I was supposed to be doing, but looking at the machines and, trying to find hidden secrets and stuff, because that was always fun, was the engaging of the world and trying to find what else was there. And I think they kind of really lost that formula as the series has progressed, which is such a shame, because there's so much creepy mystery here. It's just so wild to kind of work through and be like, okay, what is this? What is that? What's going on here? And yeah, such a fun thing to experience. I think this is, yeah, our pal is here. He's charged by the numbers. So this guy is a bit of a mad scientist. Oh yeah, he kills him. And I try to like sneak around here to kind of help him without getting the stuff, but anyways, he gives you like a pack-a-punch fire sale, as to say, which is nuts, but we're gonna go do that. So what he does is he takes away your gun, and if you kill him, you get your gun back, and you get like, ammo and everything like that. But yeah, he can just straight up take your guns and you never get them back. So this is the pack-punch room. Kind of cool, pack-punch right there. Executive place. And I'm trying to get in on the fire sale before it ends, but you can see it's quite a bit of a deal. And I don't think they ever use that again in a later one. There we go, nice. And this room's kind of neat because it's all these TVs. You can actually defend this room if you'd like to. And there's the last, and again, so you've seen the posters there, and also the painting on the wall, kind of reflective of our crew, the mystery guy, and also, I believe that's Richtofen to our right. But it's filled with fun little mysteries and little throwback things, and there's so many little fun trivia bits that are a part of what make this level cool and neat and creepy and distinct, and asking you to not back down from Eminem's song "Won't Back Down." And anyways, like I was saying, it's a cool level. They throw out one-liners like crazy. They've got hidden things that you have to deal with. There's fun surprises. It's just a really enjoyable game. It's well, game, but like, you know, map within the game. And I think it's still worth trying out, but it's also, again, not as approachable as, say, Kino der Toten or the other ones, but it still kind of lies within the elements of those special throwback survival focus maps where you can just keep on surviving and keep on going if you've got the group or you doing it by yourself, the skill, and I think that's kind of cool. I'm trying to think of anything that I might have missed, but I believe this actually concludes the full tour of like all the different areas and all the different spots. Lots of different windows to go to, lots of weird rooms, lots of weird weapons. And I don't think I show off the howler, the ice ability to it. I don't believe so, but it's a pretty cool weapon. It goes just like freezing stuff up. It's a little wild, but yeah, I guess kind of just enjoy the rest of this. And again, we're kind of keeping it open here, which is kind of neat. If you do that, you keep someone in there, you can keep it open. It's a new play space. Other than that, it gets closed off, and it can be a perfect cooldown for your team. Things are hectic. Open the pack-a-punch, everybody jumps in, we're all good. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty awesome. That's 5 in Black Ops Zombies, and I hope you kind of just enjoy the rest of the gameplay. And I don't think it necessarily has like a specific endpoint, because I stopped filming before the end of our survival thing. But it ends in a pretty lackluster, well, it did when we died. It ended in a pretty lackluster way, needless to say. So you're kind of getting the prime points here of our zombie killing, that's for sure. It's got some fine-tuned moments of we fighting scientists and, I think, military-esque zombies down here in this really interesting American facility. Yeah, definitely a cool one. Aesthetically, yeah.
No touchy.